A stressful time for me, personally, is shopping. It's not as bad with the numbers being controlled because of COVID. But COVID alone brings more sort of stresses. For example, so people don't mind being told when they can go in the shop, um, as in sort of wait there and come in when they tell you. But with PTSD, it's different. For me, my traumatic event, I was closed in, and I wasn't in control at all, at all. So for someone to stop me and take away any sort of control affects me severely. It takes me days to prepare for a big shop because of this, and I put it off and I put it off and off and off, but my wife eventually sort of persuades me to go into the shop with her, or go with her to the shop. You walk through the main entrance, or the foyer sort of thing, and there's about 3 traffic wardens sort of controlling who comes in and who comes out, which is fine. Sort of thinking about it now, from the comfort of my house, it's silly that this is even an issue for me. But if you don't have PTSD, you may not understand why, and sort of why would you? To sort of put it in a sentence that you will understand, I would have rather died out there than came back with this illness. So someone stopping you from going from A to B affects me more than you could probably imagine. If you knew why I was diagnosed with PTSD, everybody would know why I don't wear a mask. I don't go out much, and I've only ever been asked once about a mask at the door, and I said I was exempt, and that was it. Sort of done. They obviously has been told by their managers or whatever, and to question this, and which is fine now when you sat here, but at the time you're sweating, panicking. I can't explain it, but it's just, like I said, like the example I gave earlier of what, that's not a lie. I still panic though every single time of being challenged. Every time I walk up to the shop, once you're in there, your heart rate comes down a little bit, and you get into the swing of the shop, and it's not. You see people looking at you. Most people, you think people must be judging you, because they're obviously thinking, why is this young man? I'm in my early 30s. Why has a young man not got a mask on? And you're thinking, surely only older people are going to be medically exempt. Why is this 30-odd-year-old not wearing a mask? He's obviously, scum or whatever, just being one of these people against the rules, and which is obviously not the case. Probably, 80%, maybe even more, mind their own business completely and have a look up as they would look at a normal person and carry on with the rest of their day. But I reckon 10-20% of people do judge, and that isn't good enough. What one person isn't good enough to judge. If someone was walking around with a cast on their arm, no one would question if their arm hurts, or if someone was in a wheelchair, no one would question their disability. So why are they judging me? Why are they judging mine? People need to be more aware of the illnesses, of these illnesses, and be aware. Just because you can't see something doesn't mean it isn't there. And this is an example of when something went it went wrong. It shouldn't have happened. And one time, it wasn't too long ago actually, I was looking through, and I was feeling sort of loved up, like imagining what I'd write in the card to my wife, because we'd been through, a horrendous year with my sort of illness, and she's not reacting well to it, and obviously, imagining and thinking about what I'm going to write in this card. And then this bloke from behind me, he said, "Oi, where's your mask?" I obviously responded. He said, "You only shouldn't be wearing a mask if you have a medical condition." Is it a medical condition? Like raised his voice, sort of thing. And obviously I responded a little bit stronger this time. He obviously seen it in my eyes, and he obviously felt that I didn't have anything to lose in this argument. So he walked off he walked off with his tail in between his legs. In sort of what world is this acceptable? To challenge anyone? Would you challenge, I don't know, someone with a wheelchair getting out of a car in a disabled bay or something like that? You wouldn't ask for proof of their sort of illness. You just wouldn't do it. So in what world is that acceptable? To be honest, he's lucky. I wasn't too stressed already. Although I didn't want to be there, I wasn't horrendously stressed. I obviously told my therapist about this, and my therapist said I responded correctly, and it wasn't a perfect outcome of what I said. Obviously, I haven't said in this recording what I actually said. The outcome, nevertheless, wasn't too bad. But this is what I mean about education, and this is why I wanted to do this recording. It could have ended a lot worse than it did, obviously. And luckily, the only damage here was the ego of a absolute idiot but bearing in mind the area that I'm on about here it's a military town. So everything in this town is military. You know, so I dread to think what it's like and what's being said on the outskirts of the UK. You know, where obviously the lads and the girls will also live. That ruined the next few days of my life. I started drinking again. I was thinking about it 24/7, every sort of, you know, waking minute. I was thinking about it, thinking about him, and dreaming about it. I was having sort of nightmares about it. The annoying thing is, this moron of a human, he probably forgot about it when the second he left the shop. You know, if not sooner. And this is why people need to be more educated about this. You know, someone's actions in that minute has ruined my life for days. But luckily I'm back on track now, and my nurse that I've got has gave me a good tip, and this is what I want to sort of share with you now. And I found it helped me, it helps me pre-plan the shop. Expect things, sort of run through what's going to happen in your head. Expect people to look at you for not wearing a mask. Preempting the fact that you have to queue a little further away from everyone else at the till now. And if you expect these things, you can almost preempt all of the potential threats. And I found this has made it a little bit more bearable. It's your brain trying to protect you, but it's actually harming you by trying to protect you, because you just sat at home thinking and thinking and thinking. So people with this need to get out. I mean, I'm lucky, I suppose, with the fact that I've got an amazing wife who's working with my nurse sort of in detail to push my boundaries, sort of thing. And so I'm lucky. I understand there's people out there alone and completely alone. You know, try and do the things that you used to do. Again, it's obviously scary or different. Christmas time, it's obviously going to ramp up, and so go earlier, go later. You know, but just go. That's sort of my tip. And anyone else who's listening to this, be aware that there's people out there that you may not understand what they're going through, and why should you understand what they're going through? But just be aware, everyone's going through different stuff in their life. I hope this clip or this audio or whatever has brought a little awareness to people on this illness, and I hope it has helped someone, because that's the point. But thank you for listening.